Hi, everyone. Welcome to our session on a glimpse into your students' first year. Thank you so much for tuning into this recorded video. My name is Dr. Connie Moreno Yamashiro. I serve as the College of Humanities and Social Sciences Assistant Dean for Student Affairs. And today I'll be co-presenting with Mai Warren, so she'll introduce herself and get us started.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mai Warren, and I am the Graduation Specialist in the College of HNSS. And I'm really glad to be here presenting with Connie today. So welcome. This is going to be a glimpse into your student's first year. This is a very exciting time for you and your student. It is also a time that can be filled with a lot of questions and uncertainty. It is our hope that when you complete this video, you will have a better understanding of the transition your student is embarking on and how you play an integral role in your student support system. Having a greater understanding of what your student will experience can help you provide support along the way.
Thank you, Mai. So I'm going to start off by giving a quick overview about what will happen in this recording session. And so during this time, we will review the following topics so you can get a greater glimpse into college expectations, experiences, processes, while also getting tips on how to support your students' transition to CSUF. You will learn about Cal State Fullerton and all the resources available, the differences really between high school and college, because there's lots of differences that we want to make sure you're aware of, academic expectations, getting involved opportunities at CSUF, campus resources, common experiences among college students, and so much more. So we hope these topics give you a greater insight into your students' first year and what they might experience at Cal State Fullerton.
All right, first, let's discuss a little bit about Cal State Fullerton. So what is a Cal State Fullerton degree comprised of? When students earn a bachelor's degree from Cal State Fullerton, they have completed a variety of requirements. Two of the main components of the degree are general education and major coursework. General education at Cal State Fullerton is designed to give students a breadth of knowledge and understanding across disciplines, including science, social science, arts, and humanities. General education courses help students develop broad skills in areas of critical thinking, communication, and lifelong learning. A major is the student's primary area of study. All of the courses that the student takes within the major are from a particular discipline. Majors vary in the number of courses that are required. Overall, students need to complete a minimum of 120 units to graduate, which is made up of general education, major, and elective courses. We will break down what a unit equates to in a little later, but this is equal to about 40 courses. To graduate, students must be academically successful as well, so they must maintain a 2.0 GPA or higher, which is a C average. Due to the major that your student has selected, they belong to the College of Humanities and Social Sciences, also known as HSS, which is one of the many colleges at Cal State Fullerton. Studying the humanities and social sciences has many benefits. Students are educated about the constantly changing world. They are civically engaged. They acquire tools to support lifelong careers. HSS students gain skills that employers seek the most, including critical thinking, problem solving, leadership and teamwork, effective communication, including argumentation skills, conducting research, and decision making. The HSS Student Success Team is here to support your students' academic, personal, and social needs. We offer academic advising, career advising, leadership, development opportunities, scholarship resources, and information about study abroad and Cal State DC programs. For your students' convenience, the HSS Student Success Center provides workshop space and a student lounge. Should personal issues or concerns arise, we can support and direct your student to the appropriate resources. You can also follow us on social media. If you don't have Instagram, Cal State Fullerton has a variety of social media platforms that provide a glimpse into campus life. All right. Now that we've shared the basics about Cal State Fullerton, we want to turn your attention to the differences between high school and college. There are many differences between high school and college. At first, it might be difficult for both you and your student to navigate these changes. One of the biggest differences for family members is that you will no longer have access to your student's educational records. This is due to the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act, better known as FERPA. This means you won't be able to know what courses your student is enrolled in, the grades they are earning, if they are attending classes, and other aspects of their academic record, unless you ask your student directly. Because of FERPA, university employees cannot share this information with anyone else aside from the student. We realize this is a big shift from high school, but this supports their growth as independent adults. Another difference between high school and college is the campus environment. It may be helpful to have discussions with your student about this transition and the shift in expectations that may occur. It is at this point that we remind our students that it is okay to ask for help if they need it, and that the expectation is that they will seek help when they need it. Students begin to realize and recognize their own identities. We realize to an even greater extent in college that we have many intersecting identities that impact our life. Therefore, the continued discovery of self-identity can happen in many places on campus, including inside the classroom, campus involvements, and internship opportunities, to name a few. Students may explore different parts of their identities. These can be race or ethnicity, sexual preference, class, familial role, ability, gender, geographical location, and other identities. An important part of the college experience is supporting students' process and journey as it relates to their exploration of themselves. At times, this can be stressful for students because they may encounter experiences that challenge how they understand themselves. And it is at this point that the student may experience challenges. If you notice your student experiencing challenges, please direct them to the HSS Student Success Center. The expectations in class and on campus may also vary from high school to college. In high school, students are provided their class schedule, whereas in college, it is their responsibility to seek out advising support to know the classes they need to complete to earn their degree. Attendance in class is not always tracked. It is the responsibility of the student to ensure they attend class. Attending class regularly is one of the most important factors for academic success. Classes may be larger than what students are used to, with some of the lecture courses having hundreds of students. Due to the large size, and since attendance is not always taken in courses, professors may not know the names of the students in their classes. In high school, textbooks are usually provided by the school, whereas in college, students are usually required to purchase or rent their textbooks. While most high schools are typically smaller communities with a smaller student population, Cal State Fullerton has over 40,000 students, and the campus is over 200 acres large. For some, the size of our campus can be an initial shock. There are a lot of opportunities for students to get involved in something on campus so that they can feel a connection to Cal State Fullerton. Classes at Cal State Fullerton are offered in a variety of formats to help accommodate students' needs. Students can take a course in person at both the main campus located in Fullerton or at the Irvine Center, which is in the city of Irvine. They can also take online courses or select hybrid courses that are taught partially online and partially in person. We hope that this presentation of the differences between high school and Cal State Fullerton will help you and your student better understand and navigate the college environment. Now that your student is at a four-year university, there are some important academic expectations for you and them to be aware of in order to be successful at our campus. Let's look at another difference between high school and college that will impact your student, their schedule. In high school, students may take up to 6 to 8 classes a day that are all back-to-back and the same length of time. However, in college, full-time status is determined by units. Each course is assigned a number of units depending on how many hours the course is taught per week. Most courses are 3 units, meaning they are in session about 3 hours a week. A minimum full-time Kelsey Fullerton load is 12 units, which is about 4 courses. Students can take up to 18 units per semester. However, this is not usually recommended. Classes do not meet every day. It is up to the student to develop their schedule and enroll in courses each semester. This is where time management becomes an important skill for your student to continue to strengthen. Their schedules could have large gaps in between courses and may include early classes or late classes. It is up to your student to determine what works best for them and which classes are available each semester. Now let's move on to the essential topic of time management and study time. Students are expected to study outside of class more hours than they are in class. Most courses are 3 units, which means students are in class about 3 hours per week, and they're expected to study for 6 hours a week for each course. A student who is enrolled in 15 units should anticipate needing to study about 30 hours each week. Students should build designated study time into their schedules to ensure they do not get behind on their courses. Therefore, while your student may be attending less classes than they did in high school, they will require more study time outside of the classroom in order to do well in their courses. At the beginning of each semester, professors provide a syllabus for their course. A syllabus is an important document intended to outline the structure of the course and will always have information about the professor, including when they hold office hours and how to contact them. The syllabus will also highlight readings required for the course, the schedule for the semester, grading policy and exam information, and it will also indicate how professors handle late assignments, make-up assignments, and how attendance is tracked. You can find more information about the syllabus at our website. Since a good portion of learning is expected to occur outside the classroom, your student will need to put in many hours of studying. The way a student studies will vary according to their learning style, the courses they are taking, and the types of assignments they are working on. A student may be sitting in front of a computer on a large portion of the day, for a large portion of the day. It might not look like they are working on anything school related, but in actuality, they may be reading papers or textbooks, doing research, writing a paper, reviewing PowerPoints or notes for their course, or participating in their online class. Some students find that staying on campus to study is more advantageous, as being around peers who are working towards similar academic efforts is motivating for them. This might be a cultural shift for the family. Therefore, communicating with your student about their preference could be helpful. There are also group assignments, so your student may study with others in their class. Developing and honing their studying skills will be an important part of your students' academic success. There are workshops available on campus that can help students figure out their learning styles and what will work best for them. If and when your students have questions about their degree requirements, they can get support from one of the many academic advisors on campus. Each advisor has an expertise, which is why students may meet with multiple advisors during their time at Cal State Fullerton. Advisors from the Academic Advisement Center support students with general education questions, and major advisors support students with their major requirements, career exploration, mentorship, and more. Major advisors can be found on the major department website, Each student has access to a student success team as well. Advising is a shared responsibility. It is up to your students to seek out support from an advisor when they have questions, especially if they do not understand their tightened degree audit, better known as the TDA, which is the main document that specifies all components of the bachelor's degree requirements. Two additional resources that can support your students' understanding of degree requirements, courses, and important campus policies are the CSUF Registration Guide and the CSUF Course Catalog. Students can locate the registration guide in their student portals. The catalog is available online at catalog.fullerton.edu.
Great, thank you, Mai, for sharing all of those important academic resources and information for our family members of students who are attending Cal State Fullerton. So now we want to transition to getting involved at CSUF. So getting involved will help your students feel at home at CSUF, and that is super important. So going to our next slide, we want students to feel engaged with the campus because it's so important and critical to their college experience. So there are many ways students can get involved on campus. So students can get involved in activities beyond the classroom, tend to be more connected to campus in general. So if students are just coming back and forth to class or virtually back and forth to class, then that doesn't always help them feel connected because they want to make new friends and develop that sense of community, and that really happens through involvement opportunities. Also, research shows that students who are involved are more satisfied with their college experience. They have better academic success and are more likely to graduate than not. So some different ways for students to get engaged at CSUF include joining a club or an organization, obtaining an on-campus job, joining a sorority or fraternity, perhaps volunteering, becoming a student leader, playing an intramural sport, maybe joining a dance group. So again, many, many opportunities. Students has hundreds of different clubs and organizations on campus, and students can explore this at Discover Fest. And this happens during the first couple weeks of each semester, so in the beginning of fall and spring semester. Students can also go online to a website called Titan Link, which is the home of student involvement opportunities. Student can find organizations or groups and events throughout this website. So regardless of your student's interest, there will be something for them here at Cal State Fullerton. So transitioning to studying abroad and studying away programs, these are also really essential to learning opportunities offered at CSUF that allow students to complete a summer session, a semester, or even a year of their degree program off campus, generally in a different country or a different state. For many students, the experience of attending college provided a profound learning curve in gaining independence. However, study abroad and study away takes it a step further by really challenging students to promote personal growth, career attainment, and intercultural development. These programs also allow students to see a new part of the world, to perhaps intern and engage and experience a different culture, earn academic credit that counts towards their major, and also just travel. As a result, studies have shown that students who often achieve greater self-confidence, students who study abroad achieve greater self-confidence, maturity, and a deeper understanding of the career path and their place in the world. So again, we definitely want to encourage study abroad opportunities. Campus resources are equally important because we want them to be informed. So we want to highlight some of those campus resources for you. So we know that individuals who attend CSUF are more than just students. They have experiences, obligations, a lot of other things going on in their lives that extend beyond the classroom or even the campus. CSUF has a wealth of resources to support students with a variety of needs. So it's important for students to know that they should advocate for themselves. If they are uncertain about anything or think they should know about something but don't know the answer to something, it's important that they seek that support. If they don't know where to go, then the HSS Student Success Center, where Mai and I are housed, is a great starting point for students, and we're happy to direct them to campus resources or in general opportunities at CSUF and beyond. As a member of your student support team, you can remind them that there are a variety of resources to serve different needs. To help you become more informed about these services on campus, the next slide will cover a variety of campus resources available to your student. By becoming aware of the resources on campus, you can be a support in directing your student to the appropriate offices. So although this list is not exhaustive, there are some resources your student might find helpful and useful during their first semester as they transition to CSUF, as well as during their entire time as their journey as an undergraduate with us. So located in the library, we have our Diversity Initiatives and Resource Center, also known as DIRC, which houses African American Resource Center, the Asian American Resource Center, the Latinx Community Resource Center, the LGBT Queer Resource Center, and our Titan Dreamers Resource Center. So all of these spaces and centers aim to engage students in a community that fosters that sense of belonging, connecting students to relevant campus and community resources, and really help our students with their identity through that co-curricular learning. The library also houses the University Learning Center, which is where students can get tutoring, and the Writing Center, where students can get writing support. So please know that these academic resources are available to your students for free. The Office of Financial Aid also helps students achieve their educational goals. So this is located where students receive help with their FAFSA, their California Dream Act application, as well as grants, loans, scholarships. So if students want to receive financial aid, they do need to apply each year to either FAFSA or the California Dream Act and accept or decline the aid that is offered to them. Student Business Services is the university's cashier's office. So Student Business Services collects, distributes, and allocates those funds appropriate between the students, their bank, and other external funding sources. So if a student receives financial aid, then the Office of Financial Aid will work in conjunction with the Student Business Services to distribute those funds to the student. Students can also enroll in payment plans through Student Business Services. So should students have difficulty paying for their tuition, the Tuition Installment Payment Plan, also known as TIP, is an opportunity to break those fees and that tuition into 3 monthly installments rather than in one lump sum. Both financial aid and Student Business Services are located in Gordon Hall. The Career Center is also here to support students in preparing for life after graduation, whether that may be a career or graduate school. They provide support in resume and cover letter reviews, job and internship search, and practice interviews, LinkedIn profile reviews, salary negotiations, networking, and graduate school preparation. Students are highly encouraged to visit the Career Center as soon as possible. It's never too early to prepare your career. So even in that first semester at CSUF, we encourage students to connect to the Career Center. All right, located in Gordon Hall is the Women and Adult Reentry Center, where students can receive support services, leadership opportunity, educational programs, and advocacy. Other support centers in Gordon Hall are the Veterans Resource Center, the Male Success Initiative, and the Academic Advising Center. So first, the Veterans Resource Center at CSUF provides comprehensive service to the military-connected students that support personal, academic, and professional success. The purpose of the Male Success Initiative at CSUF is to support and advocate the outcomes of undergraduate men of color by providing tailored programming and services that empowers brothers with the skills and knowledge needed to foster academic success, establish a support network of mentors, increase graduation and retention rates, and strengthen that sense of brotherhood among all CSUF students who identify as a man of color. All right, so then the next set of resources are related to care and well-being of students, which we know are so important. So we value the care and well-being of our students and have multiple offices to support students holistically. So first, the Dean of Students office supports students by serving as an advocate, connecting them to appropriate university resources, and assisting them in navigating the university and resolving educational, personal, or any other concerns that may come up that impact the quality of their experience at CSUF. We also have Tuffy's Basic Needs Services is a service within the Dean of Students office that identifies and serves students who are experiencing an unforeseen hardship, emergency, crisis, or catastrophic event and needs some additional support and resources such as access to food, temporary housing, professional attire for interviews, hygiene products, and so much more. Next, we have the Student Wellness Center. So that ensures that all students are reaching an optimal level of wellness to help them succeed at CSUF. These resources include the health services, counseling and psychological services, disability support services, and last, Titan Well. Health Services is responsible for the health care of our students on campus, while Counseling and Psychological Services, also known as CAPS, strives to help students achieve their academic, professional, and personal goals. So they provide mental health services, included but not limited to improving coping skills, strengthening personal relationships, navigating that college transition, and engaging in self-exploration. Disability support services increases access and retention for students with permanent or temporary disabilities. So by ensuring equitable treatment in all aspects of their campus life. And last is at Titan Well. So Titan Well is responsible for the promotion of health choices and behaviors amongst the diverse CSUF community through individual counseling, group presentation, outreach events, and peer-to-peer education. So as you can see, there are several resources available to your student and each support their success in a variety of ways at Cal State Fullerton. So please remember, this is not an exhaustive list, but includes some resources your student might find useful and helpful as they transition to CSUF. So more information on all of these resources are available on our website located at www.fullerton.edu. All right, since you now know about those campus resources available to students, we would also like to share some common experiences that our college students experience themselves. So as you can see, we have this W curve. So your student is going to go through a transition academically, socially, professionally, and emotionally while they're with us at Cal State Fullerton. So during this first year, your student is likely to experience what's known as the W curve. So it's your students' transitions, perhaps those ups and downs of that very first year in college. So we're gonna go through each of those phases right now. So prior to college, and then even starting the semester, or perhaps within those first few days, students experience feelings of excitement, enthusiasm. This is like known as the honeymoon phase. So your student is likely eager to meet new people, have some more independence in their life. However, they may also feel a bit homesick. They may feel anxious, lonely, perhaps a little lost, and just like adjusting to this campus life in higher education. So during this time, you can encourage your students to connect to campus. So as we mentioned, some of those resources, you can connect them and encourage them to utilize campus resources, or perhaps join a club, an organization, or volunteer with a group. So if your student is seeking employment, encourage them to get a job on campus to feel connected to the campus community while also gaining some really good professional experience. A lot of resources we have a lot of resources and ways to get involved on campus will be shared with your student, but they may also need to take initiative to get connected and get involved in these opportunities. So with your support and encouragement, this process might be much easier for them. The next phase of this W curve we'll talk about is cultural shock. So So prior to entering college, students often have limited interactions with individuals beyond their community. So in college, students' interactions increase and they're exposed to so many different groups at once, which may cause them to feel overwhelmed. So this is known as the culture shock. So the excitement and newness of college may wear off and students still may feel like they're adjusting and trying to get acclimated to a new routine. So please continue to ask students how they're doing, validate their feelings, and just let them know that all these feelings and emotions are normal. The next phase we'll talk about is that there may be a time in the semester when students may experience this initial adjustment phase. So they have overcome this culture shock, which is good, but they've developed new routines and maybe gained more confidence in their academic abilities. So now you can see the W is going up. The next part of that W curve, they may experience some mental isolation, typically begins when students go home from an exhaustive period of time. So like fall break, for example. So when students go home, they may feel different expectations of their visit. So it may feel like an adjustment for them overall. Their evolving beliefs and values may be challenged by both their home and their campus community. Students may want to retreat to a safe space, but it's also best for you to encourage them to continue to be engaged on campus and connect to those resources, especially during this lower point of the W. Next, we go back up on the W curve. So our hope is that students are continuously working towards integrating successfully into the campus community with the support of peers, staff, and faculty. So when integrating students, they may feel more connected to campus, become more confident in their abilities. So everyone's journey is going to look a little different, and this is really an ongoing process. But again, please continue to check in with your student and see how their experience at CSUF is doing. All right, so hopefully that helps to understand that W curve of those potential ups and downs in that first year, and some tips and strategies that will help you in supporting your student who's enrolled at CSUF. So right now I'm going to pass it back to Mai.
All right, thank you, Connie. That was great. So next, we want to share with you 4 characteristics that we've identified as common characteristics that will lead to your students' academic success. And as you can see, first one is to attend class regularly, having effective, time management, getting to know their faculty, and then using resources early to get support. We found that students who do these 4 things are more likely to be academically successful. They are more connected to campus early on and will have a smoother transition from high school to college. As your student goes through their first semester, always encourage them to keep attending their classes and develop a routine that effectively manages their time. Students should be encouraged to visit their professor's office hours to get support with course content and to connect with their faculty members. This will help build networks and establish supportive mentor relationships. Finally, students who utilize the available resources on campus, especially early on, are more likely to successfully graduate. To wrap up, we want to provide you with some final tips for you to support your student. Have them visit the rooms where their classes will be held prior to the first day. This can help prevent them from getting lost and calm some of their nerves. Encourage your student to attend skill building workshops, like those that help them develop their study skills and learning styles. Remember, getting involved on campus helps foster a sense of community and supports student success. Remind your student to check their Cal State Fullerton email account. This is really important, as this is the official communication method from the university to your student. In early October, remind your student to meet with an academic advisor to discuss their academic progress and to build a schedule for the upcoming spring term. Finally, please check in with your student. Ask how are they feeling. Ask if they need any kind of assistance. And if they do, please encourage them to reach out to the campus resources that will most support their needs.
Thank you, Mai, for sharing that. We also want to acknowledge that right now we are working in a virtual format. So we also wanted to provide some tips for their virtual success. So one, really identifying a space for your students to study and attend class virtually. And we know for some living situations that might be challenging, but really just thinking creatively. Right now, I am currently in my kitchen, in my dining area. And so we have converted a space that was not intended for an office, but now is an office. office. So just thinking of different creative ways where students could have a designated space where they can actively engage in the classroom discussion. Next, we encourage students to build a weekly schedule that accounts for class time and studying time. So really having a planner available, whether that's a virtual planner or a hard copy planner, where they're really scheduling out their classes. When will they be in classes? When do they have to do assignments? When do they need to study? When are deadlines coming up? Just to help them get organized and really see the larger picture of what they have for the semester. Next, we encourage students to attend virtual office hours. So all faculty will still be hosting office hours. Those will just be in a virtual format, likely via Zoom. And so we want students to still visit office hours should they have any concerns or questions about any of the content covered or any assignments that may be unclear to them. So please encourage them to visit their virtual office hours, and they can find that information on the syllabus that they receive typically on the first day or that first week of class. Next, we want to make sure students are set up for success with all their technology needs. So do they have a laptop that works effectively for class? Do they have Wi-Fi? And if not, or do they have a headphone set? If they don't have any of these devices, or they're not really meeting the needs for them to be successful at the university, we have resources that could provide students with laptops, with Wi-Fi hotspots, with headsets, etc. And that could all be requested through the Dean of Students office. And should students need support with that, we're happy to support and direct them to getting those requests in. Lastly, we really want students to get connected in this virtual community. And so even though we're virtual, we still have hundreds of active clubs and organizations. They can still get employed on campus. So we want them to feel that connection and that community at Cal State Fullerton. And so getting engaged and connected, even in this virtual format, is going to be really important to their success. So with that, our last slide for you is really just letting you know that we're here for you, right? The HSS Student Success Center is here for you. You have our contact information on the screen, our phone number, our website. We're answering phones. We are responding to emails. We are meeting students via in-person or online formats. And so please know that they are not on this journey alone, and there's lots of support for them at the university. So again, thank you for tuning in to us with us in this recording, just to learn a little bit more on how you can be supportive to your student as they transition to Cal State Fullerton. So thank you and have a great day. Goodbye.
Thank you.